Hello. Hello. Do you hear me? Hola. I don't know if we have a delay or you can hear me. Hello, hello. We have a bit of a delay. We have like 20 seconds of delay. Okay. Okay. Hello. Good afternoon. Hola. If you're watching from Spain, from any Spanish country. We're going to paint, I hope, two things. I have here my two little thingies. It's so weird because of the delay. Okay, now I am watching me. We are going to paint two thingies. You have the references on Instagram. You can download them and paint with me if you want. You have the references on the description box. We are going to start easy and we are going to finish with a gummy bear, which is pretty exciting. Yay! From Belgium also, oh my god. A lot of people here. I am going to do this live streaming as a test, and if you like it, I probably do more in the future, maybe once a month, something like that. But you have to tell me and write them in the comments that you want to watch me paint live later on. Don't worry. And once we paint these two, I am going to do a giveaway. I am going to give away the two paintings plus other things I am planning, but I cannot tell you yet. From Colombia. That's very exciting. Okay. But I cannot tell you yet about the other giveaway thingies. I am going to collab with a giant, and I cannot tell a thing yet. Okay, I am going to change my thingy. These are the two paintings we are going to do. First one, the tomato, because it's like a warm-up painting, and then the gummy bear. So grab your thingies if you want to paint them with me. The video will be saved on Patreon, Aisha, so you will have full access to it, but I will do some highlights thingy, a little video with maybe some interesting questions, something like that for YouTube. Yeah. Hello. Okay, and I have a pink and a teal backgrounds bases, but we are going to paint two red objects. So you are going to see that maybe here you are going to see the reds more vibrant in the beginning, but then later here is going to be more vibrant. Las uñas. Yes. Okay, I am going to start with this one. Maybe yes. You can make questions while we are painting, but I don't know if I will read them. I will try. I will do my best to read everything, and if not, in the before closing the live streaming, we are going to talk a bit because I have news for this week, this upcoming week. Okay, perfect. For the, let me grab something that I forgot. Okay, as you know, I like to use acrylic markers for the sketch. They are pretty easy to use. I have already done the grid. If you see on the, let me take this off. Let me take the gummy off, but we are going to have this probably here. If something is bothering you, just let me know and I will change it. Desde Meruelo. Oh, madre mía. Ok. El diluyente. Los pinceles entre colores. Ok, el diluyente, the solvent, is this thingy, this nasty thingy that I have here. You can use whatever you want. You can use Gamsol, turpentine, es decir, trementina. Podéis usar Gamsol, podéis usar linseed oil, aceite de linaza. Pero ahora mismo estoy usando este. This is the one I am using right now because it doesn't smell. And I don't have a proper ventilation here. No tengo una buena ventilación. Así que me gusta usar este porque no huele. I am going to leave it here. So, the sketch. You can see my... let me put a bit more. Hold on. Okay, sorry for that. Kaisho, madre mía, so many languages here. Julia, speak German. Okay, I am going to do the drawing with this because this is acrylic. This will dry instantly and I will be able to put oil on top of it with the brushes and it won't smudge. Okay, maybe I will repeat myself a lot because my process isn't new. Okay, and I am going to have my tomato here, bigger. I won't have any music, sorry for that, because I will use the video for later. Julia, that was a joke, I don't understand German. Okay. I don't have webs, please. Okay. I hope this, okay. I don't have any grid on my painting, and as you can see, this grid isn't perfect. Maybe the grid, maybe this could be better, but I don't care. The tomato won't care about if I drew it properly. So I am going to just do some thingies, maybe something like that. I will try. My objective here is to do everything super fast, super sketchy, just to demonstrate you that painting is easy if you don't think too much. So we are going to do something from start to finish in Spanish. We are going to paint from start to finish, a couple of things, super sketchy, super fast. We are not painting portraits, so we don't care if the drawing isn't perfect. We will fix it while painting. And I'm going to, I won't think about what I am painting. I will just copy shapes. For example, I have here something darker. You can see in the reference, this is a bit darker, but I have here a highlight and I have here another highlight. More or less. And I have here a yellow part. Then if you see here, I have this part is like blue, more or less, like gray, something like that. And then I have it, this is a bit lighter. And then the shadow, this is like super dark. And then this is like blue. If you focus at the reference, I don't know if you are watching it here in the live or you are watching it on your phone. But if you watch, let me put, maybe I can, yes, you won't see me, but that's okay, just for a second. If you see this part here, this is blue. This is super blue, like cobalt blue. We need to enhance that. We are going to take that gray and we are going to paint blue. Okay, this is the objective. And just because here is blue, And just because I want to make this super blue, I will paint the rest yellow. This is my plan for this tomato. A bit sketchy, a bit messy, but it's okay. I'm going to put it here so you can see my palette. And if you have questions on the palette, I can slow down and I can show you how I make mixes. I am going to start by adding more reds. Maybe you see some things weird, but forgive me, please. Okay, I am going to add cadmium red. I like better the naphthol red or vermilion because I hate using cadmiums, but it's so opaque that lately I am using it a lot. So now that I have it here, I am going to keep using it. And first of all, I like to make, I don't know if you have seen my other tutorials, the Domestica course, etc. I repeat myself a lot, I know, but I like to, okay, I like to make some mixes first, so I can have them like a shortcut, and then later I am going to make my modifications on the go. The brand, la marca no es importante si te gusta. Lo importante es encontrar una marca que te gusta. The important thing about the brand is finding some brand that you like. Por ejemplo, Old Holland es bastante thick, duro. Old Holland is super thick, it's not oily, no es nada aceitoso. Así que a mí no me gusta mucho. Puede ser una marca muy buena, pero a mí no me gusta mucho. A mí me gusta que sean más aceitosos. Yo ahora estoy usando Gambling, podéis ver por aquí, tengo un montón de cositas de Gambling, pues porque me está gustando mucho. I am enjoying Gambling a lot, but this is your taste. And I like Gambling because it has paints for beginners and for advanced painters. I am going to make, I am mixing red with violet, okay, because I am going to make a dark red. And then I am going to make one little orange for the highlights. This is going to be more violet maybe. This is amethyst. A bit more. And then just a pinch with ultramarine blue to make it super dark. And we are going to use this just in a couple of parts. Maybe in the shadows below the leaves, for example. This is going to be some intermediate, and then I am going to make a red with yellow. So more or less an orange. Super saturated. And then we are going to make our mixes on the go. Hello, Ash. Okay. You know that I use flat brushes a lot, but I am going to use a larger one, maybe this one. And again, what brand of brushes, whatever you want. I use these ones right now, but I hate that this is the 2 and this is the 4th and there's nothing in between. I don't have any intermediate shape or size here. So your taste, if you are okay with the brand you have. But for me, I haven't found this quality in any other brand, so I am happy right now. From Hong Kong, oh my God. Okay, I am using, this is solvent-free galki thingy. It's a medium, a fast-drying medium that will make my paint a bit thinner. Okay. I am going to start. Can you see here that I am covering entirely the grid? This is because cadmium red is pretty opaque. And why don't I start from the darks? I don't know. I don't like it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I want to do it fast with a big brush, using what I did in the sketch to save me some time. Here I have some reds. And now I am not going to clean the brush because I am using the same-ish color. It's from red to red. So I am going to just have it, mix it a bit, and use it. Okay. I am going to be painting for an hour or a couple of hours, depending how it goes. I want to paint this tomato plus another painting of the same size. So maybe 2 hours. For example, here. Let me show you that my paint is super thick right now. So if I dip the brush a bit into the medium, it's going to be much thin, thinner. Okay, maybe now on the go, I make my mixes with a bit of yellow to make these parts. And it's okay if we cover some parts. We are going to paint onto it without any problem. You'll see. In the bottom part, we have lighter orange. So we can mix maybe, is this light enough? No. Yeah, but not gel. This is not in gel form. This is this one. This is solvent free, but in liquid form. You can find it also in gel form, but now I like it in liquid form. Good morning, true. For me, it's almost like dinner time. Okay. Ah, thank you so much for your comments. I am trying to read and paint at the same time, but this is too difficult. Okay, is this light enough? Yes, it is. And now this bottom part that we are going to have here with this blue that we planned before. And here we need some orange too. Can you see that the orange doesn't look like a bright orange? In the palette, you see that this orange is much brighter than what you see here. And this is because of the background. I know I repeat myself a lot, but this is because of the background. Bonsoir, Cecile. Okay. I'm going to use the knife because I want a larger quantity. And I need my paint a bit more saturated, so just yellow to have a brighter orange. And I won't dip this into solvent because I don't want to clean that a lot. Instead, just with a towel or something like that, I am going to squeeze this. You have all these tips in my YouTube if you haven't seen my do's and don'ts. And now with a bit of medium. I'm so glad, Carmen. Okay, and now I have a brighter orange. That's perfect. I am covering what I noted, but I will remember, I think, that we have a highlight there. And sketchy, fast, without thinking too much. The tomato won't complain if you are painting it good or bad. Instead of red, I am using quinacridone rose sometimes because you can have pretty oranges without that red, but the rose is transparent, so you need to be careful. But you see here that we have different shades of oranges. And I am going to repeat myself even more. And just because this is oil, you can get over it a bit, not a lot, because you will get muddy paint, but you can, oil is pretty forgiving. Sí, estoy usando un secativo. Un secativo, pero que es, mira, te lo pone aquí, fluido libre de solvente. Se supone que no tiene tantos tóxicos como otros. Pero bueno, es para que seque antes, it will dry faster, te va a dar brillo y va a hacer que la pintura sea más fina, más líquida. Es decir, ahora tengo que cambiar el chip. It will dry faster, the paint. You will get shine and it will make your paint thinner. You have another brands. I used before one from Winsor & Newton, but they have a lot of solvents. So now I am switching to a safer products, hopefully, because I don't have a proper ventilation here. Recién empiezo a usar óleos y me gustaría saber cuál es la diferencia entre el paint thinner y el medium, que ambos diluyen pintura, pero no sé cuál el momento correcto. Paint thinner versus medium. Both are the same. I mean, los dos son mediums. Medium es algo que se le echa a la pintura. Medium is something that you add to the paint. So both are mediums. Los dos son mediums. Pero el thinner, específicamente, pues la hace más fina. The thinner is a bit, the name says it. Sennelier has it. I don't love the Sennelier one, but yeah, it's a bit too much oily, the Sennelier one. Enough with the yellows. I am going to have this bottom color again to cover this. And now I am going to make this blue. Usually, I make my blues with ultramarine and cobalt blue, cobalt teal. But now I am in love with these grayish tones. For example, let me explain this to you properly. Palette. Let me remove this and just use this again. Okay, this is too fancy, but I am a big noob, so forgive me if I am a bit, I don't know. Imagine you are playing with these reds. If you use ultramarine, you are going to go super dark, okay? Because the ultramarine has a low value. And you are going to make super darkish purples, browns, something like that. But if you use grays, let me do it again. I am going to waste a bit of paint, but I hope it's for good. Okay, we are on the same red more or less. If you use these grays, just because this has a bluish tint, you know that this gray is gold. Look at this. You can get beautiful, in my opinion, violets without getting dark tones. So for this part, we have white reflections in red surfaces. Let me change it again. Okay. I love this. A bit of thinner because this is too thick. Okay. And now if I need to go lighter, just a pinch of white. Okay. I don't know if you see the color properly. I am watching it a bit differently. So I will try to adjust this. More or less. And I will switch to a smaller brush, maybe this one that I have here. And now, yes, now I am going to do a little mix with the cobalt teal. You know me, I love making these. And I am going to add the final spark here. Maybe that's too much, but I love it. I love how the red contrasts with the blue. And one tip, let me find a quick pink for the highlight. And I am going to repeat again one tip that I already said. I don't know where I said this. Okay, I have a pink here. If you want to apply oil on a surface that is wet, for example, this is all wet, you have to put your brush parallel to the surface. You have to lay down your brush. Super parallel, not like this. This is perpendicular to the surface. And when you paint like this, you are going to blend your paint. You are going to move your paint. But if you put like this your paint, you will see that you are going to be able to not blend. Have you seen that? This is like purplish. Let me do it with white so you will see that this is amazing. For example, with a smaller brush even. I am using a thinner because I need my paint to be thin. To use this technique, I'm going to use a bit of blue, just a pinch. And let me parallel to the surface. And you will see that that doesn't blend. If you do that, look at the difference. Can you see the difference? I don't know if you can see it. And if I do it without thinner, let me clean this, it's even more noticeable. I'm going to clean now, yes, with my thinner, with Amazon. Imagine that I am using the same color, but without making my paint thinner. And now imagine that I want to make a third highlight here. I am going to correct it later. So perpendicular, look at this. That doesn't stay in the painting. But if you use a lot of thinner and you make a bit of white, my dog, and I do it parallel, you are going to see that the paint stays. Oye, Nasus, para allá. You're going to have my dog barking. I'm glad it worked because it's right that you have to overwork the certain parts over and over again, and I hate that because then you get your paint super muddy. Now I'm going to use these little silicone tips to make to remove this, and a clean brush to use the same red as before, and I am going to cover this mess in no time. Okay, that's it. So this is a tip that I love to use. I am going to keep using my thinner brush, and maybe that's the time for the stem part. Yellow. For the stem, I like to put color blocks, and then in the when I finish this part, I will detail with a thinner brush. But for now, you can see that I am painting parallel to the surface. Maybe a bit of cobalt teal. This is too much, but you can work. More or less. I don't need it super exact. Thank you. When you practice with this thingy, with this tip, you can see that the more you put your brush perpendicular, the more you blend your paint. So you are going to learn by experience where your sweet spot is for this. For example, here you can see that I have blend, and now I have to go over it with white and blue. I'm going to use this gray. Whoops. I think it's cute, but parallel, yeah. And again, we don't need to make any specific shapes. The tomato will be happy. More or less. Sometimes when I paint with more time, I like to save these parts we have painting, so I don't have to be aware of if I blend or not. But for now, I want to make this fast and sketchy and quick. It's okay. Now I am going to finish some details of the tomato and the background. Here we have a pinch of blue. Maybe this is too much. Yes. You see the colors different. Maybe that's better. Again, we have yellow here because we have the reflection of the background of the table, sorry. And then you see that I am not cleaning the brush because all the colors are similar, more or less. I have here, and it's fun because everything is wet, everything is made a la prima, so it will blend with the colors that are around, and the effect is pretty good. I don't like acrylics for that reason. And this super dark red, or maybe this, for the shadows of this. Super sketchy. Maybe here. What? I like to use this mole stick. Can you see that I am? Maybe okay. This small stick to use it as a support. You can use any stick. I remember when I was in uni, I used a broomstick because I didn't have any stick. Now with a thinner, some details, just it. Have you seen the pumpkins? Super cute. Okay, that's better. And now for the greens, I have some questions about the greens. I will use purple to make the shadows. One, because purple is the complementary color of the green. Whoops! Are you watching this? I am removing paint, so I need to go parallel to the surface. That's it. Super delicate. That's because I am using too much thinner. I hate that. It's okay. Okay. Here. Maybe here. Let me switch the brush. I'm going to use another one that is super thin, but not as thin. Violets, complementaries of the greens, so you can use them as a shadow, and they will add a lot of richness to the painting. I am not enjoying this stem. I hope the tomato is fine with that. We can fix it later. Yay, welcome Jake. Okay, and now I am going to clean the brush because I need a super light color for the stem. Maybe I can reuse this and just a pop like that. And that's great. I think that's cool. You can make more details if you want, but that works as a tomato. Maybe if I want to put more details, we have here something more. I can, nah, I am going to leave that. So now back to my large brush. I am going to clean the first brush that I used. First, removing the excess in the towel. Watch my do's and don'ts video. And now I am going to dip it into the solvent. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. And now with the knife, I'm going to remove this, sorry. Now with the knife, I am going to make a big mix for the background. Then if I make mixes on the go, it's fine, but something big to use. And as said before, I am going to make it yellowish. So with a bit of ochre, because maybe yellow is too much yellow. So ochre is fine. And then I am going to do another blob with cobalt blue for the shadow part that I mentioned even in the beginning. And I'm going to go bluer towards the shadow. So, bit of thinner. And look at this. Before, same as before. This is my paint. Can you see it? Yes, this is my paint without, with just a pinch of thinner, without thinners. But if I dip this, can you see that I used a bit of thinner? I am going to make this more liquid, more runny. You learn where to stop with experience, so don't worry. Now look at this. Can you see that this is longer, smoother? Let me do it again. For example, here. Can you see the difference? But at the same time, this is more transparent. You can have the risk to have this more transparent. So maybe you don't want that. So you have to be careful with that. And about backgrounds, as always, I say always this. I know I repeat myself a lot, but in the part that is closer to you as a spectator, you have to make the colors more saturated. So I am going to use more ochre, maybe a pinch of rose to make this part super sketchy, super fast. Bit of magenta maybe. This has to be saturated. I know this isn't too saturated, but now that I am going to go back, I am going to make it less saturated. So just this yellow with a pinch of blue to make it more dull, more gray, Maybe I can use some gray. I'm going to, okay. And you see the difference? And thanks to that, we are going to add some depth to the painting. I usually cover my sketch, but not all the background. I love to have the background visible. I'm going to use this blue. I will do more later for this part. And also, warm tones pushes things towards you, while cool tones move things farther away from you. So you can play with that. That's why I usually, paint pinks in the front and blues in the back. And just like that, we made a tomato. Again, I am going to give away these mini paintings with more things, a lot more things, but not yet. Maybe in a week, couple of weeks, we'll see. And now I am going to switch again the brush. I'm going to clean this first in the towel. I have here a rag. Maybe I can use a rag better than paper. And then with the solvent. And I'm going to make that shadow. And then later, we are going to correct some things because you can see that the edges aren't the best. Maybe I can use this with more cobalt, maybe this blue, this gray, with a bit of white. Okay. Thank you, Sarah. And now that if you focus on the tomato, let me enlarge this. Can you see? Can you see? Like this. Can you see? Like this. Okay. Can you see that this part is cooler than this part? Here we have some red reflections from the tomato to the table, but here we have blues. So I am going to make a little transition, little gradient from blue to red, magenta, something like that. Let me put that here. I think that's better. Yeah. Here I am using blue. Maybe I can use a bit more blue. I want to make this contrasting. And then the dark shadow, of course. And I am going to use this pink that we had before. I don't have to make it again for this. And now mixing these two, I am going to have, instead of mixing in the painting, I am going to mix in the palette. Because if I mix in the painting, going over and over again, blending the brush strokes, I am going to make my paint moody. So instead of that, I am going to make here my mixes and then just apply them a bit sketchy. And they are going to blend by themselves. Okay, and now I'm going to make the darker one. Reusing this with a bit of ultramarine that we saw before. Maybe, is that a good color? Too dark? Maybe we need more red. Something like that. And then I am going to do the same with some blue, this gold gray that I have, for example, or with blue. I'm going to make the transition. And that's it. This is the essential of the tomato, of any object really. You know that I paint the same everything. Everything can be painted the same. A portrait, a landscape. You just have to focus on what you see, abstract from what you see, and paint shapes. Paint exactly what you see. You see a red big blob, then you paint a red big blob. You see a highlight that is something warm, something yellow onto it, then you paint something yellow onto it. That's it. No matter if it's a portrait. My oil paints, I buy them. I use these little tumbling thingies. They are pretty cool. I have more brands, but now I am moving towards tumbling until I get bored at least. Okay. I'm going to, maybe this is again too small. These brushes are super small, but they can be, let me show you. They can be opened and make like if they were flat. Let me show you. Okay, can you see that? They can be like a small flat brush. That's why I like to use this, because I am going to be able to make details without using with the small ones, but not blending. Okay. It's going to be blend just because they are oils. Maybe with a bigger one. Let's add some color here. Okay, I like that. And now again, let me grab my mole stick. Don't worry, Thea. We are going to be here an hour for at least. And I am going to correct this. I don't always correct the edges. Sometimes I like the way they look when they get blend. For example, here with the paint, sometimes they're nice. Even more when this occurs in the back part of the object, because you know you are focusing to the front back part, so the back is always a bit blurry, like in landscapes. You know, the farther it is the object, the more blurry you will see the everything. But front part, I like to, let me use some darker here. Now at this point, I am not even looking at the reference. I just want my painting to look great by itself. I don't need the reference. I am not going to put my reference close to my painting so people can see both. Well, I do that on my Instagram because I like you to see what I see, but you know what I mean. So, for example, I don't like this. Maybe the reference can be similar, but I don't like that. I like to have more volumes. More or less. And now I have a course that I keep painting over and over and over until, I don't know, until the next day, the same painting. It's so difficult to finish a painting, but now I am going to try to finish it. Does it look good? No, I have seen now a thing. Can you see that the reference? We have two highlights here. We have this highlight, we have this highlight, the left and the right. But the right highlight is much brighter than this one. So I am going to make, I am not going to blend this. I could, but I don't want that. I like the way it looks so shiny. So I am going to grab a clean, well, I am cleaning a brush. I am going to grab a clean brush, and this is blue onto red. So now I am going to use the complementary of the blue, which is yellow. And I am going to do the same as explained before. Super liquid, super yellowish, and parallel to the surface. And I am going to add a pop of yellow. And now you can see that this is more vibrant, more light than this one. Is it? The way I watch on the screen is not the same as I watch on real life, so I am a bit confused. Rebel 5. I have seen so many painters using Rebel, but I am so lazy to try new stuff right now. I'd love to, because I know that that will help me get out of my box again, try new things. But I am so lazy right now. I don't have much time, but it's in my to-do list. Also, RZ 4 is in my to-do list. And what should we do now? I am going to sign this because I have the tomato here in the middle of the screen and you're not telling me a thing about it. Okay. I'm going to sign that because I am going to give away it and I want it to be cute. Okay, this is our first mini painting, our first tomato. Now we are going to use the same that we have seen on this tomato in the gummy thingy. In this thingy, we are going to apply the theory of the tomato to make this gummy. And I know Aisha is going to be screaming already about the gummy, but it's going to be super easy. Me alegro de que te guste. I will try. You have convinced me. It's very fun. That's the fun, the important thing. Let me drink some water. My domestica bottle. I hope you are not hearing the vacuum cleaner of my neighbors. Yes, we are going to paint the gummy. And is the similar palette. So we are going to reuse some of our reds, and I am not going to throw any paint. That's always right. Cool. So let me take this off. Whoop. Whoop. At least you can see my pumpkins. Okay. Me alegro. Freaking beautiful. Well, if you see my other tomatoes, I know you will, Aisha. But it's fun. It's a fast sketch. I just want to show you that you can paint fast and just take, I don't know, half an hour for each painting, and it's going to look great. And then from that, you can now make more refined paintings if you need. You're not seeing a thing. Hold on a minute. Thank you, Ash. I am going to give away the painting. Okay, I am going to buy it. Thank you. If it's on a discount right now. And then I can try it, I don't know, in January, knowing me, but I will save a little money. I am going to give away the tomato and the gummy bear painting. I am thinking on some ways that I can give you more benefits just because you have been here on the live streaming. So I will think about it. I don't know how to do it yet. Okay, same as before. We are going, I have all my brushes here. I am going to use not the same color. Well, yes, I'm going to use the same. I'm going to use the same acrylic marker. You can use any brand. These are on Amazon. You have a link somewhere in my thingies. And the gummy. 3 hours can you can make a lot of tomatoes in 3 hours. Whoops. Let me not the overlay, please, gummy. Yes, thank you. I'm going to make the sketch and then jump onto the other setup. I have to make my room more spooky for the next thing is I am going to do, whoops, I am going to do another live streaming on the 27th with Domestica. So it's going to be in Spanish. Va a ser en español, el próximo live streaming. And then I am going to do another one on Halloween. And then I am going to put candles and thingies, and I am going to put some Halloween ears. Okay. For the gummy thingy. Again, my grid isn't the best, but it's okay because the shape doesn't have to be perfect. So we are going to just put where I want my limits because I want to centrate it a bit. My least drawing medium, charcoal. I hate having my hands dirty. I know Cecile, for example, loves that, but I hate getting messy with my paints. I love charcoal and pastels in general. They are super fun, and you can be super sketchy also, and also detailed. But I hate the mess. Maybe with gloves. I know I am a bit. I don't know. I'm not gonna say stupid, but yes. Sorry. Just let me improvise with this. Maybe I can. This is this. Maybe I can do this. Yay, and the gummy. Yay, that's better. A professional here of live streaming, everyone. No problem. Okay. This is pretty fatty, this guy. So this is more or less the shape. I am not going to worry about it because then I am going to define it with big brush strokes. And the shadow is important. We don't have to make the gummies and all reflective stuff in the center because the shadow is as important as the object. I know. I also had to make a lot of charcoal paintings. They're the worst. The best one is digital. You don't have to get messy. You can paint on the bed if you want, on the couch. But all the art teachers, every art teacher hates digital painting. Okay, can you see that I am making the shadow? No, you're not, you're not watching this. Okay, the shadow gets out of the painting and I don't want that. I am going to modify this real quick. So I am going to just replicate the thing and I am going to forget about all this, okay? This is not going to be painted because I want my thingy to be in the middle of the painting for now. Sometimes I like to crop things, but okay. And now I am going to define the big shapes just a little bit. Again, we have to forget that this is a gummy bear. so we don't get intimidated by this. We have to just paint things. Now I am seeing a big blob of darker red here. So this is my red blob. That's it. Super convenient. Yes, you have to buy them, Dennis. Oh, Dennis, the thing is going to be centered in the painting. You won't have any talk, any city. Okay. So here we have another red big blob. And I will forget about it. Here I have another red big blob. This is the grid I made just to center my painting. I usually make the grid just when I have to make some proportions right. For example, when I have to make portraits or cat portraits, things like that. But I had these two, I think I have even more, I don't know where. I have these thingies prepared for another day, so I just use them. And it's convenient because then, this is a thing that I explain in my Domestika course, but just because you are here, I will show you. Let me change this. Let me prepare this. I don't want you to see a thing, a private thing, just in case. Okay, so we are going to here. This is an app. This is for iOS. You have on Android again. You have even on laptop, I think. This is called Grid, and you can insert your any photo. Of course, it has to have the same proportion as your painting. So if my painting is square, I need the photo to be square. But for that, you go to Procreate and you change things. And here I made 4 things. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 by 4. Please. Oh, okay. And that's it. You are going to be able to copy the drawing better in no time. And when it's not a portrait, you can be super loose about it. You can do the drawing super hand-free, and it's going to be nice. No one is going to see that you made the gummy a bit bigger, a bit smaller, a bit, I don't know. The thing is that we all recognize what we are doing. That's it. So as said, another red blob here, and here we have these circles that we know, if we listen to our brains, we know that these are the hands, the arms, right? But I don't want to listen to my brain. I just want to get abstract of what I am painting. I don't want to know what I am painting. I just want to paint what I see, no matter what it is. Here I have a red, another red bean-shaped blob. Here I have a highlight. I like to make a little arrow on my highlights, so I am aware of it. I don't know. Here I have another bean, but this is darker. Maybe I can paint it darker so I don't forget. Here, if you make this step right, the painting session is going to be super easy because you already understood what you want to paint. And all this is super dark, but we have here another triangle thingy. And then all this is light, and we are going to use the same as with the tomato. We are going, all this, let me show you here. It's going to be the same as this part. It's just the surface being reflected onto the tomato. That's why I chose these two, because these are made on the same table, which is that one. So it's the same light, the same colors. And here I have another red blob, and this is super saturated. And then the highlights but I don't care about those because I am going to make them in the latest part, because we are going to do the wet on wet technique, making with the brush super parallel to the surface so it doesn't get blend, you know. And then we have here something like that. We don't have to be precise, we don't care, but that's going to be super high, super light in value. And then if you look at the highlight at this thingy, you are going to see that we have also a gradient from the outer part here of the shadow to the inner part. This is super dark, this is super light. Can you see that? Well, it's not super light, but it's lighter. We need to do that instead if we want to make everything realistic. Even though we are not painting realism, because everything is super sketchy and bold and expressive. I won't remove the paint, but I am going to do something, you will see. So we are going to clean it a bit, you will see. Okay. Thanks for coming, Dennis. Okay. Oh, and before I forget, here we have a super dark warm thingy. And here too. So I don't want to forget that. Oh, and I am watching here. The more you see in this part, the less troubles, the less trouble you are going to have later when painting. So here I am watching now. This is like blue, this part. Also this part, it's the surface being reflected. But here we have like a curve. Can you see that? Maybe I am getting too messy. And this is yellow. This is yellow. This is blue. This is blue again. And this is like violet. Why that? Because I am exaggerating what I see. For example, let me show you maybe here better. Yes. For example, you can clearly, whoops, I can change that. Professional streamer here. This is cold, this is super cold, and this is super warm. So I am going to put violet blue here, and I am going to paint orange and yellow here. This is super warm, this is yellow or green. What more? I have here again, super cool, super gray, violets, but here I have some part that is orange. When I do that, exaggerating that orange, I am not going to paint this gray, shy gray. I'm going to paint orange. So when I do that, everything is going to look more bold, more colorful, more vibrant. But just because I am respecting the proportions between our areas, between zones, the gummy is going to look realistic. So our brain knows that this is a gummy because we are keeping the volumes, we are keeping the values, but the colors are more vibrant. So what I wanted to do about the palette, Sarah, I am going to clean that, but not cleaning it. I am going to reuse. Let me make some space. This is not going to serve me for now. I am going to use this. I'm going to use this red. I have here another red. And the rest, I think I'm going to get rid of it. So half start. This is like a soft reset. Now, I hate using wipes because you use a lot, but they are so convenient, so easy to clean. Look at this. All the palette is already like new. Okay. But we have to be careful because the wipes have oil. So I'm going to use a napkin to remove the oil. And we start. painting. Thank you and welcome. So, same paper, towel thingy, and I am going to take off the excess of the paint. And I am not going to clean them because, for example, I can use this one for the red parts. Oh, you're right. The tomato. That's because you were watching the palette. But I can just change the tomato for later, and we won't have this problem again. Thank you. What more? I'm going to clean this and this. Just like that. I don't need to clean them with solvent. This is enough. Of course, if this is from yesterday, yes, to clean them, please, because the paint will be super stiff. But just today, that's fine. So let's get rid of this. And again, I am going to start with big brushes, but just because here we have a lot of shapes, not like with the tomato, we are going, this is the larger I will go, okay? I think this is enough. So I'm not going to clean this because I don't, okay. Because I am using the colors more or less. I am not being super exact. I don't want to take this exact shape of hue of red. Okay. I am going to start with the darks here. Why? Because that will be easier for you to see, but sometimes I start from the light parts. And I am going to be sketchy, just covering what I said that was dark. Sketchy, as you see, this is not exactly the same. I don't care. Just because the background is teal, our reds are going to be more red. You will see that maybe when we paint lighter. And again, no one is going to have the original reference next to your painting. So just be sketchy, bold, and if you are not super accurate, it's okay. Remember that we have here some yellowish parts. I am not going to take those in mind right now, and I'm going to do it later. Something like that. Fast, super fast. And now I need a bit of medium because I am going to do this curve that I am watching here. Maybe more or less. I have here some more. Plants, paints or brushes. Not plants or brushes. So between good paints and brushes, that's super sad. I haven't thought about that. Brushes. Oh my god. I don't know. You can, I don't know. If you, okay, I have my answer. I prefer having good brushes, but if you want to sell, for example, and if you need your paint to be everlasting, super great, without any fading colors, you need good paints. So it's more important to have good paints, but I prefer having good brushes, because if I don't have good brushes, I am not able to paint good. I know when I am not painting my best, just because of my brushes. For example, lately I am having some troubles because some of my brushes, just because I am painting on canvases and I hate canvases, some of my brushes are starting to open a bit. Maybe you will see this is perfect. For me, this isn't perfect. So, for example, you have, you can, yeah, you see here. I hate that. I hate that with all my heart. So, if I have to paint with this, I am not going to paint well. I am going to do some crappy painting. But with good paints, with not the best paints, but with good brushes, I can perform nicely, but not in the contrary. But if you need to sell or to have everlasting paintings, you need good paints. Sorry, I hit too long. How I paint in the winter, risking my life. Okay, you need to get proper ventilation, that's true. But now I am switching to healthier paints and solvents because of that. For example, this thingy, you can read all the information on their website because they have a lot of, let me show you again, what's the brand? Sennelier also have some, but I am using this right now. For studio safety, it's supposed to be more safer than the regular ones. So they are not going to have the same evaporation, gas evaporation. You're not going to be breathing this because of how they oxidates, etc. I read something on their website, but I am not an expert on this. So, but if you want to be sure, just use their website to, or I guess Sennelier or other brands also have this documentation in their website. But if you don't have to be risky, and if you don't have to use any solvent, I know that some people have serious health issues. You should use water mixable oils. These are used with water, and you don't have to use any solvent with them, so it's super clean. You recommend more affordable for students? I used one brand, but it's not available in. It's super popular in Spain, but let me concentrate in one color, and I am going to answer that. I am going to use the knife to make the red again, because I'm not going to go from dark to light. I started from dark because I wanted to, but now I am going to do the lightest red, okay? So, um, I buy gambling in trekel.com from the USA. It's super long and with shipping costs, but I am doing some research, and I probably will help you with that soon. I am doing some research for the gambling thingy in Europe, so stay tuned. What was the other question? For students, I used Van Gogh from Talents, but I am not super fan right now. I don't know why. I loved that when I was younger. Not that I am too old, hopefully. I hope. But I used that Van Gogh from Talents, Royal Talents, but they are too transparent, and maybe if you haven't used more expensive paints, maybe you won't notice that. Maybe you can use them, but I am not in love right now. I use them, and they are super cool, but I am not in love. Gambling also have cheaper, more affordable set, which is 90, 80. Gambling 9080, something like that. They don't have any, they don't have all the colors, but you will find all you need for students. And I want to talk more about this, but I can't. So I will, I will tell you things about this in the future. Solvent-free gel in fluid. I try to use Gamsol only when I open my window. You can use Gamsol if you don't open your window too. For example, now I have my window closed because I live in a place that we have a lot of noise in the streets. But I do open my windows a couple, maybe from time to time. Maybe you can be a couple of hours painting and then ventilate all your place. You can see here that I am going darker with violet. I am not using black, I am not using brown, I am using violet. You have to be careful because the violet is super transparent. And now that I painted my lightest part and my darkest part, I am going to do the transition between one and another. So maybe this is a proper color for this. And I am not going to be super mad about the shapes because again, I don't have to be super accurate. You are excited for my second Domestika course. I guess that's not a surprise anymore. It's going to be launched in a couple of days. And I think it's going to be super cool. I won't say a lot, but I am excited too. I want to see if you like it. And I have more plans for the future because I love to teach and I would love to keep researching and keep learning to show you what I learn. I think it's super fun to see life more colorful because in uni, I went to art uni, and you can learn a lot, but everything is so boring. You are going to paint what you see on references. You are going to, your qualifications are going to be based on how accurate you were to the real thing. I don't know. So I am using this for the intermediate shapes. And I am avoiding the parts in which I said that I am going to paint on yellows and blues. I'm going to finish this and then paint the yellow and blue part. And that's it. I don't have to make every little color that I see on the reference. I just make 3: the lightest one, the medium one, and the darkest one. And with that, plus some fun reflections that we're going to paint right now, everything is going to be solved. I studied fine art at uni, yes. I didn't announce the Domestika course, but I left some subtle hints on social media, super subtle. So I guess everyone knows already about it. I studied fine arts in the University of Basque Country, which was really cool for me because I thought I was going to make digital illustration. I started making League of Legends skin illustrations, skin concepts. So I thought I was going to paint that. But when I was in uni, I realized that I loved painting with oils. Why this is not focused? Maybe, oh, thank you. So I switched everything from illustration and design to fine arts, pure fine arts. And here I am. I jumped straight in. I jumped from science. I made physics before. So I was super lost, super lost, but something called me in and I jumped into the uni and it was super fun. I wanted to paint plants today. That was something that I had planned, but I didn't have any good reference. So I will find more reference and I will save it for future live streamings. You can let me know what you want me to paint and I will take that in mind. And of course, Aisha, if you're a Patreon, you are going to have preference. You know that. I was afraid of going full time, yes, but I was already working as full time painter. So I didn't make the decision. The decision was made for me. I mean, I was in quarantine. Let me make some blues first, and I am going to answer that in a moment. Okay, I am going to use this small brush. Let me switch to the palette again. Okay, and I am going to use again these little grays. Of course, you can do that with violet or blue with white, but this is like a shortcut if you have the paints. Maybe I can list all the paints I am using on description. Maybe I can do that for the next time. Okay, and I will use this with a pinch of blue maybe for these parts. Let me switch again. It's focused. I think it is. And it's not a super blue one, but it's enough, I think. Thank you. That's the best advertisement you will have for my Patreon. So I am going to do all these little violet parts, bluish violets, and again, as we made on the tomato, I am going to make blue, super blue highlights on those parts. So I was in quarantine when I started to paint for myself daily because I was in uni and I was not enjoying. And I started to share on Instagram. So accidentally, I didn't plan that. I started to sell. I made the of course, long time later. That was like 2 years painting every single day and dedicating my life to paint for myself because we were on quarantine at the beginning and we couldn't get out from our homes. So I painted. That's it. The time I was lucky with that. I don't get out a lot either, so I don't know if that made a huge difference, but I couldn't go to uni, so everything was online. I will do everything. No, I will keep with this for a while. So I started to sell, and when I realized that I was working like too many hours a week on that, and I started to call this a job, and I started to earn money, and I needed to pay some taxes. That's when I realized I needed to jump to full-time painter. So now I created this little Aleganufa business because you have to make everything legal. You have to go to your administration and do weird things. And yeah, now that this is it. This is my life. So I didn't plan that. It was like accidental. And just because I started to share everything on social media. So good morning from Canada. Here is almost midtime. Nighttime is already here. Okay, this part is going to be yellow. So I am not going to clean this, just with a bit of ochre. Maybe, whoops, sorry for the stick. Right? Quarantine wasn't too bad, staying at home. Ah, that's so sweet. I'm glad that a lot of people came to me telling that they were feeling the same about painting daily, bored in uni or in their dailies. They wanted to experiment without judging. Because when you are painting for uni, you are getting a constant critique from your teachers, which is great, but it can also stop you. So I loved that time when I couldn't show my thing to anyone and I just painted for myself. So I started to post on Instagram and a lot of people came feeling the same. Of course, I was not the first one. I found a lot of people that were already making that. That's where the community grows. I don't think it's necessary to build a website. No. You can use third-party thingies, for example, Etsy or another marketplaces. But I think a website will give you more control. Um, mm, mm, mm. I am going to make, can you see in the reference that here we have like a gradient from the edge to the inside? So I am going to make this little gradient using the paints that I already have. Can you see? Like not mixing in the painting, but mixing in the palette. Thank you, Robin. Then you are going to receive the first gift envelope soon. So no, you don't need you don't need your website because if you have a website, you need to have traffic on your website. And for that, you need to have a big audience online because if not, people won't go to your website. But if you have Etsy, for example, it's a marketplace which already have a lot of users daily. You can use their tag system to rank in the search, and maybe you are lucky and some customers can find you. That's how I started. I don't think I used the tags right, and I don't know if I ranked high, but I started on it. But then the website will give you more control. I am going to do this thingy that I forgot with a bit of yellow. And I will jump to a smaller brush. Small. Okay, I have three questions. The first one, what do you do if you are not working as a full-time artist? I I laugh because I don't do nothing. I only work. That's my life. I promise myself that I am going to change that, okay? But for now, I only work. Since I get up in the morning until I get to bed in the night. I mean, even when I am at bed, sometimes I am with the laptop or with the iPad doing something. I know it's not the healthiest, but for now, this is what I do. What I like to do? I don't know. I forgot what I like to do. I like to watch anime. Now we are watching One Piece again. Well, I watched today the I don't know 120 episode and tomorrow the 200th episode. But I am watching One Piece again. I am rewatching it. Do you paint on paper? Oh, right, the paper question. I have noted the paper question because I saw a comment on another video and I want to answer that properly. But for now, you can store them one on top of the other, but with onion paper, tissue paper in between. And this way you won't have any stickiness between paintings. And that's great. And you just put it on a shelf, and that's great. And yes, I paint in oil, in paper, not as much as before, but it's a great tool. So now we start the fun thing. Now I am going to put the whites. Let me explain you how I do this. Now we have a giant blob of 3-4 colors, more or less. And now I am going to make white with ochre and a bit of medium, maybe more white, maybe a pinch of yellow. And I am going to do a thin line just to make that highlight we see. Okay, and I am going to do the same here. Maybe here. Maybe here. And I love to use these longs because it's easier for you to put it in parallel to the surface. Because even though you are pushing perpendicularly, the brush is going to, let me show you. Even though you are pushing, the brush is getting parallel to the surface. Can you see that? So it's easier for the paint to get in the canvas, to get a stick to the canvas. What was the other question? Certificate of authenticity. I don't know. I don't think it's necessary because I have been selling for a couple of years already without them. But now I am starting to do them because I think it may be important for others. So maybe when you die, maybe if you get super famous after you die, maybe they are going to be handy. For now, it's like I don't know. It can be cute for the customer to receive them, and it can make your painting special. But just that. I don't know. I have not enough knowledge on certificates of authenticity, but I am working on that because I am doing. I want to send my paintings with them. I will show you super soon because I am going to print them today, actually. Okay. And you can see here that I am putting some ultramarine in this yellowish thingy, and we have the green. That's it. And without moving to the next color, you have to focus on your painting like a lot. Without thinking, I am painting the arm, I am painting the shoulder, I don't care which part I am painting. I just do what I see. Here I see a lot of blob. Here we have some yellowish thingies. Here, and now I am going to do the same with blue. Business side of things like packing orders, working on website, money stuff, etc. I have it listed, yes. But I think it's super difficult to talk about it. But I am going to do it, yes. I have recorded a video already. It's no, I don't know when I am going to post it, but I have a video about how to make prints from zero and how to pack them. So I think that could be a start. And I have also a video, but that's not recorded yet, about how to make your own business thingy around this thing. But the most important thing is that you don't have to have the business side, the money side, as a main goal. This has to be secondary. For example, I don't want to sell as a main goal. I want to sell, of course, because I need to pay my bills, but I want to show my things. I want to show my way of seeing things, the colorful thingy, etc. And I want to teach because I love to teach. So I am working on that as a main goal. And just as a consequence, I am having a business. For example, in quarantine, I wasn't expecting to build a business around this, but I wanted to show, I wanted to share. And then in February 2021, I don't know who was the first to tell me this, but you have to pay taxes. You are earning money, you have to be legal. And that wasn't a lot of money, but you know that each country has some minimums in which you have to start making taxes. So for me, that was my minimum, and that was like, okay, I want this to last, so I am not going to be sketchy. I am going to be legal. So yeah, that comes with the rest. My water, thank you. I am going to use my domestica bottle. I'm glad you are less afraid of gummy bears. You will see that now we're going to make 5, 6 highlights and everything's going to be like, wow. This wooden thingy is another canvas. This is an MDF panel that I use exactly like this to paint. And I use this one because I can put my mole stick onto it. Well, this is not a mole stick, this is a stick. Leroy Merlin Basics. This is a stick, and I just put my hand onto it. I have a couple. This is another this is another mole stick. It's just because I don't want to put my mole stick just onto the painting, because first it's going to be super low in the easel. I can go higher, but it's not going to have support. And secondly, because I don't want to put my mole stick onto this thingy, and because I am going to scrub the paint when I do the background, so it's really convenient. When it's finished, I am going to post it only on Patreon, but I am going to post the highlights on YouTube next week, probably. So I am going to post the result and the last tips, of course. Thank you for the wishes. Okay, tips on pricing. I'm onto that first. I prefer working on the table when it's smaller, yes, because it's like I mix here and I paint here. Like I have to do this movement, and it's really fast and simple. But when they are larger, or when I want to record them, I have to stick them into the easel and paint vertically, which is better for my back, etc. Okay, first, bit of blue. I am watching it here. If I want to paint wet on wet, remember, a lot of medium. Well, not a lot, a bit of medium. And just sketchy, parallel. Okay. I have here my super dark. I cannot forget. Here, more or less. It's super, I have here some darker lines. More or less, I am not trying to be exact. And now, I am going to do the darkest part that I am forgetting about with the ox purple. Just a blob. And here another mini blob. and here another one, and that's it. I don't need any more. Maybe I don't need any more. No, I need one more. Maybe I can do here. I can make deeper this edge. Okay, that's it. And now I'm going to do the highlights. And highlights, I always do the same two colors as before. I use any paint. I'm going to use this little knife. Let me change this thingy. Okay, palette thingy. So I put a blob. Okay, a bit of yellow or even ochre if I don't want to be super intense, and a bit of blue. Just a pinch. Just because they are complementary, you are already watching that they are super different on the palette. So when you put them on the painting, they are going to make everything more fun. Because you are not going to paint your highlights just white. You are going to paint them with colors. So just a lot of medium. And we are going to decide here. So let's take a look. Whoop, here. Can you see this? Yes. So here, now you can grab your reference that I linked you in the description. Here we can see some purplish parts around the highlights. So this is going to be cool because purple is cool. But here we have some yellowish parts. So this is going to be warm. Here, this is going to be warm. Here, I have some warm below, but here I have some pinks around it, so that can be cool. I usually focus at this, but if you don't see it, just don't worry, just put half one color and the other half the other color. But this is clearly yellow, this is clearly violet, so that's it. Maybe if I do this, you will see better. Can you see that here we have violet and here we have yellow? You can see that's super, super good. And here, this is super cool. We don't have any yellow here, but here we do have yellow. So I am going to use that for these two colors. As always, medium, and what I said, blue. Maybe I can remove them all. Whoops, sorry. Okay. Blue, 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 blue. It's funny. And you don't have to make them all the same size. Some will be smaller than others. Okay, more or less. And now I am going to clean it with solvent. I need to be super clean because if I mix the blue with the yellow, I am going to have grays and neutral tones because they are complementary. They complement each other. They neutralize each other. So now again, bit of medium. And look at this. Yeah. Okay, can you see that? I don't know if you can see that because I cannot zoom more, but I can do this. Can you see that this is more blue than this one? Because I don't know if the camera here, pop, pop. Yes, of course. The giveaway is going to be announced on Instagram and it's going to have more rewards. Not only these two paintings, but I am also giving away some prints, some codes for my Domestika courses. And I am going to have a cool thing that is still secret that I am going to give away to make everything more special. I don't know if I am going to pick several winners or just one with a huge bag. Maybe it's better several winners. And I want to give you some privilege because you have been here. So say hi just because you are here, so I can have the log before later. But I have the thingy, don't worry. But I want you to have some privilege, but I don't know how yet. Now I am going to go for an exhibition, my first exhibition. I am going to talk about it on Instagram this week, and I am going to show you some gummy bears. So I am going to be out of the studio for a week, and I am going to come the next week. So the giveaway is going to be the next week. That's it. Blue for the top and violet for the bottom. Cool and warm tones. Well, I did that unconsciously. Yes, they look the same, more or less. I just try to make the gradient here that you can see more clearly. Here we don't have any gradient, so thank you. So that's it. But then when I finish covering the blue part, the background, I am going to see everything better, and I am going to be able to correct things, same as we did with the tomato, and I am going to, everything is going to look better. Thank you for coming. Have a nice class. Eat a lot of tomatoes. Okay, and I want my highlights to be a bit more intense. So I'm going to add some blues here because no one is expecting to have blue on a red thingy. That's it. Those are the highlights, more or less. I have some rules, as you saw. I see which one are warmer or cooler, but everything is super loose, and you don't have to be super exact with anything. When I paint the background first, I don't have any, I am going to do some whoops with purple. When I paint the background first, what a question. I don't see the relations good because having this blue will help me decide these reds better. You are going to watch in the later in this stream that the reds in the tomato are more reds than the reds in the gummy. And this is because of the background. This blue is influencing me to choose this. If I cover it entirely in the beginning, I am going to lose that and everything is going to be more normal. Instagram subscription, it's true, Indian payments. I don't have any plans for that, but one thing I could do is share the same thing on the two things on the two platforms. I will think about it. Okay, and for the background, and later I'm going to fix what it needs to be fixed. White, and the background is going to be bluish, I think. I don't know if you see this. This is pretty tricky, okay? Let me show you in the iPad again. I have like 1,000 tools here. I don't know if you see this. Let me change this. But this shadow finishes here in a blue tone. But here, this is like yellow. And here you can see some yellow and some blues in some parts. I am not going to be super precise. I just will do, for example, here, all this is going to be like warm, and we are going to do a gradient exactly as with the tomato. With the tomato, it was super easy to see, not with the, let me show you both references. Look at the shadows. Maybe it's difficult, but I think the tomato is easier. The tomato has a gradient. In the bottom part is warmer because it has the reflection of the tomato, and in the top part is cooler. So I am going to replicate the same with the gummy shadow. Okay, let me get rid of this. I made a whole a workshop in person, yes, the first time this summer, and I am going to do more. I am going to do one on Seville this January, and on Santander on Cantabria this February. And I plan to do more in the future in out of Spain. So yes, thank you. I will do more. This is something I want to do. I want to teach. So workshops are planned. Okay, so just because we are painting a red thingy, I am going to paint blue the background because I want the gummy to stand out. But I am going to do a warmer blue in the front part and cooler blue in the back part. So let me grab my, where's my thingy? If I can find it, if not, I will, oh, here it is. Okay, everything planned. Okay, again, the palette. Okay, you will have warm tones and cool tones of every single color in the color wheel. For example, the blue is going to have warm blues and it's going to have cool blues. Or in this case, let me put a simpler example. The yellow, the green, sorry, if the green is going towards yellow or towards orange, it's going to be warm, okay? For example, olive green. But if it's going towards blue, it's going to be a cool green. So here the same. If we have a red violet, this is going to be warmer because it's closer to the orange. And if we have this ultramarine blue, something like that, we have more cooler blues. This is the coolest color in the chromatic circle, and this is the warmest one. This is super fun. You have this on my links, I think. This is super fun. Where's the, I don't know, cool colors, warm colors? Can you see that? And you have this in every single thingy. We have warm reds if they are vermilions, and we have cool reds if they are violets. So everything is super versatile. In this case, we are going to make this again. We are going to use cooler blues for the back part because cool colors push things to the back, and we are going to use these teals. These are warmer because these are closer. Can you see what it's a bit tricky, but it's fun. And once you switch that in your brain, it's easy to, okay. So now, again, super fast, super sketchy. I'm going to use this. And it has to be more saturated with a bit of yellow, you can see. It has to be more saturated in the front part. Even though we are painting something that is flat on a surface. This way we are going to create depth. Take care not to add too much medium because all these little scribbles that I made are not going to be covered. Yes, we can play with the color of the shadows. That's how I started. Actually, I started painting through the studies, and I realized that I didn't want to paint gray. So I started painting my shadows with violets, with blues, and that was the moment when I realized that you can see differences in the grays. You can see that some grays are going to be more red, others are going to be more violet, more blue, and I started to do that. To change the color of the shadows. And then when I was comfortable doing that, then I started changing every color. Not every color, enhancing every color. I don't change them. I just exaggerate a bit. Okay, and I am going to use ultramarine for the back part. Even though I am not watching that on the reference, I don't care. I think it's going to be more fun for the painting. Remember that we made the shadow thinner. And now that I am using two types of blue, this one is more green and this one is more violet, then I am going to use here violet, not only blue. So a bit of violet, but I cannot go darker in value, so take care. Bit violet. My favorite canvas size, I think it's 20 centimeters, 8 inches, something like that, because it's fast to paint, maybe 30 centimeters, 12 inches. It's fast and fast. Now for me that I have painted a lot, it's quite fast. And I can paint it in one session, and I can do both sketchy and detailed parts. If I paint small, I can just be sketchy, unless I paint an hyper-realistic cherry, for example. And in bigger, I still have my things with bigger. And my favorite color for now is cobalt teal. This one. I think I love the pinks, and I love the cobalt teal because you can have beautiful violets with the two. Look at this. They create beautiful violets, but I don't have a favorite pink yet, but I do have a favorite teal. I think you can tell that I love pinks and blues. And I love that because it's pretty opaque for painting. I hate when transparent paints don't let you do what you want. And for me, that I paint these little grids and texts in my painting, I need some covering paints. So yeah, I love this cobalt teal because you can get super light. I don't know, I think it's super great. And as you can see on the background, I started just separating the cool and warm blues. The coolest one is the cobalt teal, I think. It's only warmer if I add a bit more yellow, which I will do because I want to make more gradient. Maybe like that. And now with cobalt teal, I am going to finish the gradient. And as you can see, I am making a rainbowish background without any effort. And that's what I love taking my references in that white table, because one, I am going to have the reflections of the objects in the table and vice versa. For example, now you will see that I am going to add some highlights here that the gummy is reflecting. And two, I have this the opportunity to make this little game with the colors. Is that cobalt teal from Michael Harding? No. This one, what an eye you have. This one is Winsor & Newton. I am testing it versus the, let me show you this. I think you are going to love this. Okay, let me show you. This is like off topic. Okay, I am doing these swatches here. Let me just go on. And when I have something solid, I will show you this. This is from Gambling, okay? This is from Language. I don't know what's the name. This one is Gambling. This one is Rembrandt. This one is Winsor and Newton, and this one is Michael Harding. Okay, these are like the most similar ones. I don't know if I have something in my mind. I have something wrong, but I love to do this. Okay, maybe this, I don't know. So I am testing which colors are warmer. For example, this one has some yellow tint on it, while this one is super blue. Maybe this one is more cobalt blue thing. But not only the paint straight from the tube, but also with medium and with white. So I need to have my lightest but more saturated blues. So I am doing this thing is just to have. So this one is this, and I am between these two. I think these two are my favorite cobalt teals. You can see that the pigments are super different. Both are opaque, both are super light, but this one is made with safflower oil. This one is made with linseed oil. Safflower oil is a bit more whitish oil. Linseed oil is a bit yellowish oil, but still you can see that this is more green and this is more blue. So, chemistry. I love that. I am insane, I know. So, in order, okay, I am going to answer to that. Say, as complementary colors are not the complementary as I know. Complementary colors are just the colors that are opposite on the color wheel. For example, red is, I mean, violet is the complementary of the yellow pistachio green. But for me, I mean all the oranges, yellows are complementaries of the blues in general. I am not just tracing an exact line. I just see which is in the opposite direction, because this one is going to stand out a lot next to this one, same as this one, same as this one, so it's okay for me. Opaqueness to a transparent paint, white, titanium white. Yes, you are very right. I am organized, yes. I cannot be unorganized in painting. Then the rest, it is a mess in my life. But in painting, yes. Now you need cobalt teal. Well, the cobalt teal is super expensive. That's why I am doing this, because I want to show you my research, and I want to give you the straight answer instead of having you to buy all this. And the question you said before, oil supplies are very expensive, especially if you are making sales or like for a student. So, first of all, paint on paper or chipboard, because you are going to save a lot of money in canvases. Shadow. Let me take this, and I am going to mix my shadow thing. Second, you can use super inexpensive solvent. You don't have to use Gamsol, for example, to clean your brushes, not to paint. You can use a good medium to paint and to make your paint thinner. It's going to last you a lot. So I used to buy with some of my colleagues some things in uni. Well, just at the beginning. And you can split the product between many. if you don't want to take a lot of spend a lot of money. But the medium has to be super good. Then the solvent, this little thingy in which you are going to clean your brushes, you can use the worst thing in the market for that. You can just go to the supermarket and buy, I don't know, here we have for €3 something that's called aguarrás. Aguarrás puro, or I don't know, something like that. And it's the worst thing. It smells super bad. You have to ventilate super well. But for cleaning the brushes, it's okay. And if you are using inexpensive brushes, you are going to be fine. Brushes, you can use inexpensive ones. I have a lot that are inexpensive but super flat. But I don't have them here. And then oil paints. You can just use a couple of oil, not a couple, but 6 oil tubes, and you can just paint with that. They are going to last a long if you paint small. If you paint small, for example, like this, and you make paintings like this, like every day, you are going to take your materials, you are going to make them last a lot. So that's what I recommend. And then you can use some cheaper brands like the ones we mentioned before, the gambling thingy, the 9080 series. They are super inexpensive and they are still good quality. Or if you want to start from below, just to experiment, you can use Talents. They have Van Gogh, or even Art Creation. It's like a super cheap soup brand. I remember that I had super big tubes for €5 in the store. That was awful to paint, but it worked for me. On craft paper, that's right. If you prime it with gesso, it also doesn't have to be expensive. You can use any paper, any surface you want if you prime it with gesso. Just a couple of layers of gesso and you're good to go. With craft paper, any paper. I remember that in uni we had an assignment in which we had to use like every possible surface to paint, and we used cardboard, chipboard, watercolor paper, clothes, just priming them flat on a surface, and you could use them for oils. Of course, they are not going to last a lifetime because paper is going to, well, depending on which paper. Oil paper can last a long, it's archival, but not inkjet paper, for example, that it's not going to last a long. On cotton fabric, that's right. If you print it with gesso, yes, because with gesso you are going to turn any surface into a surface that is going to allow oils. I am going to make the gradient using these reds that I have for before, and I need to make my shadow super dark if I want to make the inner part real glowy. So can you see that this is more red? Let me remove this. Maybe here better. Yes. So this is more red, and I am going to move towards blue. But take care, as before, because the ultramarine is going to make your values go darker. Split primary colors are a good way to start. I love to start with I hate that question, Dia. I love to start with a nice blue, for example, a cyan, tallow blue. Tallow blue is amazing. Tallow blue is a really good blue, inexpensive blue to start, because you know that you can have expensive colors or cheap colors depending of the series that they have in the paint tube. For example, this one is series 5. That means it's super expensive because it's cadmium. Cadmium is risky. I hate cadmiums, but here I am using cadmiums right now. But instead of a cadmium red, you can use, for example, naphthol red. No, that I used blue there. That was just on top. You can use naphthol red. That is going to make a great red, and it's inexpensive. Same with blues. Instead of cobalt blue or cobalt teal, you can use tallow, for example. More or less, we are making a gradient. Can you see that on the? But I have to keep my things close to the highlight super dark. So let me go a bit darker. And with that, I am going to finish super some darker and more red. I'm going to use this from before. Okay, more or less, it's great. Again, no one is going to have the reference near, and we are making this sketchy, so that's fine. Liquid or Galkid? I used liquid so many years because we don't have Galkid here available. But now that I have experimented more, I use Galkid because it's super fast drying. So when you are, for example, in winter, your oils are going to be more slow drying. So I love how Galkid just give me painting every single day, and I can ship paintings, for example, in 4 or 5 days. It's amazing. And it's super liquid, same as this one. Whoops, same as this one. This one is the same as Galkid, exactly the same, but solvent free. So now, even though, imagine I liked more liquid, just because this is solvent free, I am going to use this. So, gambling one. Okay, I'm going to do this super cautious. More or less. Again, I don't have to be super precise. And it's okay if everything gets mixed a bit. Yes, Galkid is super similar to the medium that I'm using today. At least in my experience in the practice. I don't know if the composition has some, I don't know. But Galkid and solvent-free gel are super similar. I mean, you can switch my bottle and I am not going to realize. And now with a smaller brush, maybe this one that we had before, I'm going to clean that because I need it to be super clean and pure and cute. I am using the napkins. I am a bit sick, so I am sneezing a lot. So I am using my own napkins to clean my brushes. Don't do that at home. Okay. Now I am going to use super white with just a pinch of red. Maybe it's better to use rose. And just a pinch of yellow. And we have a nice pink, maybe another pinch of yellow. Okay. Now I need to clean this, and again, whoops, be careful, more or less. And now I am going to switch to the smallest one, and just with yellow, pure yellow, with white. I know that this is not the color that shows the reference, but I want it to be super light. More or less. Let's clean it. And now with a bit of rose again, or even cadmium red. I want contrast here. Okay. And this is it. I'm going to make the edges as before. Whoops. Bit of cobalt blue, any blue you like. And I am going to make this little transition. Maybe I can go darker. And now clean them in the brush again with this color that I have here, for example, if it's not too much. Letting both mix. And that's it. And now, as said before, I'm going to grab some white. I am using a blue background, so blue and yellow complementary of the blue again. Maybe it's not the super straight complementary, but it's going to stand out. That's what I want. Warm versus blue. So now in the parts that I see more highlights, if you focus in the reference, you can see that you have to zoom a bit and you have to get rid of what you know. And maybe you're going to have interesting shades here. Maybe just pure white. Oops, sorry. Here. Maybe here. I like also to make some edges, exactly like with the tomato. That's why we did the two. Just a pinch. Of course, not detailing much. Just a pinch. And now let me correct this. And that's it. We painted a gummy bear. Super fun. Super shiny. No, you cannot eat it. Sometimes people say that in comments. Oh, that looks good enough to eat. No. You don't want to eat this. Just the smell. Pinch of reds. Pinch of pinks. Maybe you can see them on the reference, maybe not, it's okay, because we do this for fun. But don't get too excited because we have to stop someday. So please, Alay, stop. Please, please. Okay, stop. And that's it. I'm going to give away this to one of you once it's dry. Let me take this out of the easel because maybe with the perspective you're not going to see it properly. Maybe yes. I don't know. No, it's not finished. I like to, whoops. I like to exaggerate the edge that is close to the highlight on the shadow. That's because of experience, because I have painted a lot of gummy bears. So I like to make this a bit darker, maybe with Diox purple. Just because I want more contrast. So here I have some parts that belong to the gummy bear. Okay, I don't want to draw an edge to everything, but just in some parts, just to make it really a pop. Maybe I want to stop. Yes, I usually varnish them before I ship them. Just a pinch and I will stop, promise. Here, you have to remove that. Here, here. More or less. I don't want to touch it again. More or less. You may notice that this red, if you look at now at the reference and the painting, the cadmium red here isn't as vibrant as the red you see on the screen. This is because we are watching at the screen. In the screen, colors are more light because we have light underneath the surface of the screen. So to create that effect, what I like to do is to use floor pink. If you have, I won't do it now because I want to show you how I do this easy and fast, but you can see this little, okay, here better. There are a lot of brands that have this. For example, Holbein has an amazing pink. Please, will you or not? Doesn't want to you can see this is super vibrant, and the good thing of this is not only the pink, but it's all the colors you can make with this pink. You can do amazing oranges, you can do amazing reds with this pink, just mixing with the rest, and it's going to be outstanding. So I like to use these little tricks. Gracias a ti, Luis. I'm so glad that you like the painting. It's focused. So now we have this little thingy and the tomato. And what I want you to see is that the tomato is super orange. Why? Because I used a lot of yellow. Why? Because I was painting on a pink base. So just because of contrast, this turned out a lot more red. It's true that we have, the reference is more warm than this one, but the base really does its thing. This pink, it's named Rosa. That's it. But I don't think this brand is common. I know that Holbein has an opera pink. You can buy water mixable oils and use them with traditional oils. Just for your information, thank you. So maybe you can buy water soluble mixable oils if you find a pretty, super pretty pink and mix it with your regular palette. So yeah, I am going to sign this. I didn't sign this. I am going to give away this with the tomato, with some prints. Maybe I will do a poll to see what you want me to give away. I am going to give away some coats for my new domestic goat course and old, both. And that's it. If you want to make some questions, this is the time. If not, we are close to the end. The pumpkins. They are so cute. Let me remove this from the food part. And I'm going to show you just the little thingies. Thank you all for coming. That was really great. I want to know if you want me to make more streamings, because if you want, I will really schedule some in the future. If you don't want, of course, it's great. I can just do regular videos. But I think it's cute to talk to you in the real time. I hope you grab these references and make your own and see that you are okay. I cannot lower the camera. I hope you can experiment with these references. More streamings. Okay. I usually don't pick pinks for the tomatoes, but this time I just had, look, I am going to show you that I have, okay. I usually do this in bulk. I don't know if you saw my other YouTube videos, but for example, how I prepare my canvases, I have them prepared already. This one is gold, this one is red, this one is almost fluor pink, depending on the light. So I have them already prepared, and now that I wanted to make the live streaming, I just thought, okay, I am going to pick one pink and one teal just for the demonstration. I made a video in YouTube using four like these ones, painting a little octopus plushie. And you can see the difference with the same object in different bases. And it's really cool to see how one is more saturated than the other just because of the... Siri wants to participate in the live streaming, okay. It's really cool to see just how you get from the beginning, from the underpainting. On a red board, in reds, you can paint plants. Plants are amazing. For example, let me show you. I don't know if you saw this biggie. I don't know if you saw. I cannot zoom, but this one, if you look at Instagram, this is a red board. You can see that this is red, and that helps me watching the real greens when I am painting, and also with all the little details that can get through the I cannot zoom here. maybe I can in the easel. Hold on. I think it's really cool to paint plants. Maybe I am going to cover myself, but that's okay. Okay. Oh, I'm not covering myself. Okay, can you see? Can you see all the reds? I think it's super, super fun. Okay, now I am going to move it. Can you see? Okay. All the... Oh my God, Siri! Can you see all the reds? Que te calles. Can you see that? This is super, super, super fun. And so yeah, I use red now for this, for plants, for greens, for broccoli, for avocados. That's super, super fun. Let me change again to the, I want to see the chat. That's a big one. Um, the big painting. Acrylic for the underpainting. Yes. Yes, I am using these ones. For example, okay, I am using, let me get again here. I am using this one if I want to get super big, super bold, but this is opaque and not transparent. And I am using this one, which is super, super fluid because it's the golden fluid. It's super easy to spread, and you can cover super big surfaces with this one in no time. So this one is great, but it's a bit more expensive than this one. So I just combine. Um, yes, I will consider the plant thingy. I want to make um I want to make plants. I want to paint more plants, and I want to show you how I paint plants because I think it's super easy, but people is super afraid of them. I don't know why. The summary is you just have to use purple. That's the summary. In watercolors, you also you can have your base, but you are going to get it mixed with your paint when you put more water because you are going to reactivate your base. That's good and that will work because you are going to tint all your painting with your underpainting. You are going to influence your painting. For example, if you make all the canvas or the paper in yellow, you are going to make everything look more warm. So that's super cool. But you cannot use acrylic because you are going to remove the absorbency of the paper. So you cannot seal the paper. You have to get about this. Gold underpainting is really, really good. I think it's really glam. I have one example here. Okay, let me show you. Can you see? Maybe let me change the layout again. I think it's super cool because when you are watching it like this, remove the gummy because we don't need it anymore. Okay. When you are watching this just like this, you are watching the yellow and it's fun. It's like a yellow underpainting, but when you turn the painting, it's going to turn the color. So I think it's really, really cute and it adds some glam to the painting. I don't know if you can see here. It's like it sparkles. I like it. Flowers are difficult if you think they are flowers. Glass is difficult if you think this is glass. That's glass. You have to forget what you are painting, and you have to just paint what you see. That's the advice. Because when you just paint blobs, exactly as we did with the gummy thingy. Let me put this again. Super professional streamer here. Okay. If you just paint the blobs, for example, here, a big, this is, no, I don't want it to, it's focusing the gamsol. Okay. You just need to paint the shapes. For example, here you have a big shape that is darker. Here you have a big shape that is red. Flowers are the same. You just have to get rid of the idea of flowers and just paint them. About I have the questions. I still have the question about how to price your artwork. Maybe I will do a video about it. So yeah, because I can give you some advices, but you have to experiment with them. So it's a bit hard to measure that. But about paintings that I don't want to sell, I usually don't have paintings that I don't want to sell because I had in the past, I had two tomatoes that I didn't want to sell because I thought I have learned so much with those tomatoes, and I thought, okay, I want to keep this for myself. And just a couple of months later, I thought, okay, this is nonsense. I am going to sell this because they are hidden in a shelf. I am not enjoying them. I prefer another person to have them in their homes and enjoy them because I am going to have them covered in a shelf. So maybe some are a bit special because I learned with them, but it's okay. Do you have painting that you hate? Yes. Um, just paint colors exactly. You just have to paint the what you see. You see a red bean-shaped blob, you paint a bean-shaped blob. You see a line that looks like a, I don't know, butterfly. You paint that. That's it. Um, I can show you how I clean my brushes if you want. I have a lot of paintings that I hate a lot, but not just paintings. I have, and I think this is normal. I can, for example, this gummy. Tomorrow I will get up in the morning and I will hate that. But then in the evening, maybe I say, okay, this is pretty fun. I have a good time. This is shiny, cute, colorful. But then the next day I am going to hate it, and that's okay. Uh, yeah, well, I wasn't going to show you the cleaning process, but yeah, I am going to. It's okay. Just 10 minutes more and we are out. 2 hours ago we started already. Almost 2 hours. That's okay. I will try to make more live streamings with different subjects. Oh, and I love to clean the entire brush. I cannot have a brush that is not cleaned. This is a brush. This is a decent brush for me. Everything needs to be clean. Just in painting. Then the rest, I am a bit lazy, but to varnish, I wait until I cannot feel the paint anymore. For example, I have another example. I have examples for everyone. I have, okay. I wanted to varnish this painting today. This is a commission I made. I have a lot of fun making this commission. It's super, super cute, this little dog pup. But if you touch, okay, I can do that and I am not scared to do that because if I mess it up, I am going to fix it and it's okay. For example, here, can you see that I have, so it's not ready to varnish. But the rest, I am going to use the other. The rest, if I can do that and everything is ready to varnish. And if you have blobs of paint, for example, impasto, here, for example, if you put your nail and it doesn't get the nail mark, you are ready to varnish. That's the tip. If you put your nail and you get a mark, you don't have to varnish yet. For me, it's like a week. A week, yes, because again, I use these products that are really, really nice, and you don't have to wait like a month for the varnish, which is, or 2 months, which is really nice. I can paint something today. For example, these two are going to be dry by next week, and I am going to be varnish them next week. I varnished like 5 that I have here. I'm not going to show you every painting, but I have here 5 that I varnished this morning, and now they are ready to pack because they are already dry. If you want to speed up the drying process, you just have to use this little key. Increases flow, blah, blah, blah. speeds drying and increases the gloss. So if you use this, you are going to have your paint dry super fast. They are also another some paints um, that are faster drying than others. For example, all the earthy tones, all the yellow ochre, the burnt umber, etc., they dry in no time. But then the whites, some blues, this tallow green, they are awful to dry. And yes, I use gambar. Gambar can be used just when you have your painting touch dry. So, are you going to save the live? No. Yes and no. I am going to edit the live because I cannot post. I shouldn't post 2 hour super long painting here on YouTube. People is going to be like, okay, I don't want that. Or on the contrary, people are going to, oh, this is too good. Okay, and give me that every day. So I am going to leave this just for my Patreons in case they want to see the live streaming. Again, or just experts, they can just watch the live streamings on my Patreon. But I am going to make a highlights video. I am going to cut some parts which I think they can be interesting, but not. I want to save the best for my Patreons, so I don't know. um, If you have dust on your paintings, you have to use wipes first to clean the painting. But I want to talk about this too because I know you have asked me this in the past, and you can build a little thingy to protect your paintings. I want to show you a tip that I have, which is I don't have it here. Okay, I am going to show you other day. These little shelves that are super narrow and you can put like paper on them. You can use them for these paintings, and you can or build one for yourself. Just a board of wood, 2 little legs, and in the gap between your table and the board, you are going to insert your painting, and you won't have any lint rollers. I hate lint rollers because they are going to some can leave some uh, glue onto the painting, and if you are painting in pastel with a lot of texture, you are the lint roller is not going to reach every single spot, but it's cool if you paint flat. Are you cleaning just with a thinner now? Yes, just because I am using this thingy, I can both clean and paint with this. If you are not using good quality thinners, you can use the cheapest one just for the cleaning, not for the painting, because the painting can, um, um, what's the word? Can get can get damaged if you paint with the cheapest thinners on the market. So I would use good quality mediums for the paintings and the worst of the worst just for the cleaning session. And now with the palette, just because this is super clean, I hate when I don't use all the paint, but don't look back. Don't look at this. You're not watching, right? I am going to throw that. It's okay. I am not going to paint anymore today, and tomorrow I don't know. So I am going to be realistic, and sometimes I use this. This is not wet anymore, but I don't care. Sometimes I use leave the paint blobs on the palette because I say, okay, I am going to use them tomorrow, but no, then tomorrow they are going to be dry. And in summer, paint dries, oxidates faster, so you are going to have just random blobs. So I am going to clean this, and look at this, super clean, super shiny for tomorrow. Tomorrow everything is going to be clean, perfect, organized, and I am not going to be lazy to paint and to work. Um, I don't have to change the water for cleaning my brushes because I don't use water. I use solvent. But when I have used this solvent, I am going to leave that. You will notice that the pigment, this is linseed oil. You can also clean your brushes with linseed oil, or you can use this as medium because it's slow drying. You will see that the pigment is going to get, let me show you. Here is the pigment and the rest is just liquid. So this happens the same here. The pigment is going to get to the bottom while the rest is going to be clean. So you don't have to throw it and use it again. You just wait until tomorrow, and tomorrow you will have clean paints, thinner. Which cobalt gel is your favorite? The Gambling one or the Winsor & Newton light one? I am between these two right now. I am enjoying Gambling just because I am using the whole set of the brand. So I love to have the, it's everything work nice together. For example, when you use their solvent, everything is going to dry faster, and you can use their varnish because it's prepared for their solvent dry paintings. So everything works nice. It's a synergy between, but the Winsor & Newton Cobalt Light Teal is also a really nice color. Mix all together to make gray. Yes, but tomorrow the gray is going to be like mauve, and I don't like that. These are going to be wet. Yes, maybe not the day before, but you can see that I am just using just a pinch of paint because I don't want it to be super dry. And if something is dry, I just use the palette. I remove the top layer, and then the interior paint is going to be great. A spiral thing on the bottom of the linseed oil jar. The two jars are the same, but this one is more, it has more, I don't know if I can show you, but here is a coil too. This is a metal coil that is on the interior part of these thingies. You can buy this on Amazon. You can put, it's silicoil. You put silicoil on internet and it's going to appear this. And it's fine because you can use this for your brushes. You can clean your brushes easier this way, and you don't have to, the pigment is going to get to the bottom while the top part is going to be clean. So you can just do this in the top part, in the clean part, instead of going to the bottom in regular jars without anything, and just do like this and mess everything and mix all the pigment back with the solvent. I won't cover them because I paint every single day. So tomorrow when I come back, they are going to be wet and I am going to use them. But if you want to cover them with plastic, with a bit of plastic. Yeah, but I want to, I don't want to waste paint, but my main objective is to be fast to paint. I don't want to be lazy. If I put barriers, for example, if I hide all my paint brushes, etc., in drawers, I will have a barrier that is taking out everything from the drawer to use that. To use it, if I cover the paint, I need to uncover everything in order to paint. So I will leave everything as easy as I can, just to sit down, put my apron if I put it on, and just paint. That's the goal for me. That's why I have all my goods prepared. And if I can, I also do the little thingies as you saw on these ones. And if I can, and if I have the paintings planned, I also make the drawings, all the drawings on the canvases. So then Monday, I just have to grab a single little piece of wood that already has the drawing, sit down and paint, and don't think. That is the main goal. And this is how you keep motivated. I am going to talk about this super long in a video because a lot of you asked me about this. What more? Different cleaning liquids. The two can be used for cleaning, but the objective is not for cleaning. I use this because it's a slow drying medium, and in summer all the paints get dry super fast. So instead of using Galkit or any fast drying medium, I use linseed oil. That's the. In summer you use a slow drying medium, and in winter you use fast drying medium, unless you have to make a commission in which you may use fast drying. Why? Because in summer, this summer has been so hot that if I paint something in the morning, in the afternoon it was dry, and I hate that. It was like painting with acrylic. I hate that. So I am using linseed oil just when I want to make everything slower. Um, Radiant Gambling, do you recommend? All of them, yes. They are fantastic. They are not needed. The Radiant paints, they are not needed at all, okay? Because they are just, if you look at the back part here, uh, 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 please, yes. If you look at this, you are going to see the pigments that make everything together. So they are just white with some color. For example, magenta, ultramarine blue, cobalt turquoise, phthalo turquoise, Hansa yellow medium. They mix the yellow with the titanium white. So you can do that yourself. You don't need the radiant, but they are so time saver that I like to have them in my palette, and I don't need to mix a lot of white with anything. I just grab a pinch of this shortcut and just put it on there, and they are super cute, every one of them. Um, Gracias, Patricia. Gracias. Pues enséñamelo, Cito, ponlo en Instagram. If you have painted some of these, just paint. Why? See, I don't mind a lot having this because I can let me ah! This is going to be, I can fix them myself. So whenever I am doing this, it's not the best, but I can fix them. So I am just going to let this dry. This is medium, it's perfectly fine. And I am going to cover the yellow. Can you see here? And everything is going to be great. So it's okay. But I have lost a bit of medium. It's okay. What more? Don't worry. Linseed oil is slow drying, yes, because linseed oil is what every oil has. If you see here, you are going to see that every oil or most of them have linseed oil. So the more oil you have in your paint, the slower it's going to dry. Yes, and slow drying medium. And Galkit, not gambling, Galkit is going back fast drying medium. That's right. And you can clean brushes with either of them. Yes, you can use brushes with both of them because linseed oil is what already is in your oils. So you are just dissolving the oils in something that already is in your oils. So it's going to clean the brushes super good. But I like Gamsol more. Me has ayudado a quitar la ansiedad del arte. Me alegro muchísimo, porque el arte normalmente siempre se ve como muy una cosa inalcanzable y nos da mucha ansiedad y nos da mucho... Y no, hay que verlo como algo divertido y algo que nos animamos. We shouldn't be intimidated by art in general. Oil painting is fun. It's not something super... I don't know. Do you always mix Galkit with Gamsol or Galkit? No. I usually don't use Gamsol on the paintings, just to clean them or to make veils. So I usually don't mix Galkit with Gamsol, only Galkit. But if I have to make veils, and that's another technique, I am going to use Galkit with Gamsol. I learned from you more than 5 years of art classes. Thank you. Thank you, really. Future workshops in my website. I am going to put a banner now. The one that is on my website is updated, but I am going to change it tomorrow if everything is on schedule. So in my website, there is a tab that it's called Learn, and you can find it. You can find the workshops, the courses, the Patreon, the everything. So yeah, and I think this is it. Look at this. I'm going to make it suffer a bit. Look at this. It's fine. These are happy accidents. Happy. This is not the happiest accident I have in my life, but these are happy accidents. When I fix this, I'm going to do that real quick. Maybe I can do that now. This is going to have another dimension, and it's going to be super fun. So it's really not a big deal. Just because oils are super forgiving. Imagine this is acrylic. Acrylic can be dry super fast, and then you won't have any problems with them. But the stain, if you have any stain onto them, you are going to have bigger problems to correct them. And just because acrylics are so transparent. So I just want to, Junita, leave me alone. Okay, I'm going to show you my dog. Just because we are finishing. Ven, Junita. Ven, ven. Say hello. Say hello to the audience. ¿A que sí? Más bonita. ¿A que sí? Ahora déjame en paz. Okay. Perfection, not the process exactly. We need to see how to fix accidents. The other day I had a problem with commission. I don't know why, but when I varnished the painting, the nose started to peel off, and I freaked out. But just like 10 minutes later, I told myself, okay, I am going to leave it dry and fix it. That's it. That's not a big deal. So we are fine. So yeah, but if this leaves my house or anything, and this gets spoiled in the post office or whatever, I am going to freak out because I am not able to fix it. But if I can fix it, everything is fine. So yeah, that's great and fixed. Like new. Yes, it's Yuna. Yes, maybe I can do a what's the word? A recopilation, a mashup of all the little accidents you can have on the studio that are fixable, and put an example for that. I don't know. The problem is here that I grabbed a brush again, and maybe I will just keep it and keep it and keep it painting until tomorrow. So I am going to just leave that. It's okay. You're right. Most people won't even notice. You are going to freak out, but most people will just ignore that you have an accident, so it's okay. Again, people won't have the reference picture, so that's right. Okay, I won't leave you talk anymore because I can be here talking until tomorrow, and I don't want that. I want to have dinner already. 9 o'clock. So thank you all for coming. Thank you all for all the questions, all the comments, all the love. I really hope, yes, or OCD. I really hope you enjoyed the painting session. I hope you have the references there to paint, to make the test by yourself and see that this is super easy. You can just paint without thinking. And yeah, please comment. I don't know if this is going, not now, not now. When I am going to announce it, just comment that if you want more live streamings and tell me what you want me to paint, because I am going to take all that and I am going to make I don't know if little paintings like that, just teaching the basics, or maybe we can do bigger sessions. I don't know. We could do something really big or really small. Thank you so much. Me alegro muchísimo de que lo hayáis disfrutado. That's it. I will see you on Instagram with a lot of news, domestica course and exhibition super soon this week, the same week, the two of them. I am going to be in Madrid. If someone wants to be in Madrid, si alguien quiere estar en Madrid, voy a estar en Madrid y llevar regalitos. That's it. More streaming. Thank you. You too. Have a successful week. Thank you so much.